Hi everyone, welcome to this week's edition of News Dabs. I'm Jimmy Young reporting for the Pro Cannabis Media Group and ProCannabisMedia.com. We look for the biggest and most impactful stories about the emerging cannabis industry from around the world and here in our home state of Massachusetts. Did you know that one of the busiest cannabis dispensaries in America is right here in the Bay State? No surprise to anyone who drives down Route 9 eastbound towards Boston, Netta Brookline always has dozens of people lined up to get into the old Brookline Savings Bank building, and according to the Boston Globe, Netta is getting 2,500 customers a day at an average statewide spend of $45 per consumer. That's just over $110,000 a day in sales, close to $1 million a week just from that one dispensary alone. Now, this should be a good time to check the Massachusetts Sales Tote Board for the week. Add in another 22 dispensaries. Massachusetts is averaging over $1 million a day in sales with two $1.9 million days last week alone for a total of $11,029,733. Since the adult use market opened in November, the state has raked in over $260 million. At the Lynn Museum last week, the Cannabis Community Care and Research Network held its latest advancement series. Dr. Marion McNabb and Stephen Mandilli were on hand to share some of their results of their ongoing research study of veterans' use of cannabis to combat PTSD, anxiety, and chronic pain. That study is available online at the C3RN or Cannabis Community Care and Research website, c3rn.wildapricot.org. Their goal is to get 2,500 veterans to take this anonymous survey. In Massachusetts, there have been 138 respondents so far, so if you are a veteran, get online and give them your story. Now, I've got a story from the research world that just might give some insight on why that chocolate edible did not deliver the expected result. According to a study released at the American Chemical Society conference, it seems that chocolate might be impacting the percentage of THC that is reported and tested in edible products. The problem, said researchers, is that THC is fat soluble, and in small samples typical in testing, the amount of THC has a larger variant than bigger batches. Head researcher David Dawson said, quote, "Simply changing how much sample is in the vial could determine whether a sample passes or fails, which could have a huge impact on the producer of chocolate bars, as well as the customer who might be under or overdosing because of this weird quirk of matrix effects." That is concerning for all those chocolate edible users out there. And finally, Robert Downey Jr. was given an award at the Disney Legends dinner this past weekend, and the actor who played Iron Man used the forum to come clean about an incident that happened to him a few years back as a youth at Disneyland.
I would like to make amends to whomever had to detain me for smoking pot in the gondola without a license. And I'm sorry, I don't want to further confuse the issue by insinuating that pot smoking licenses for the gondola are in any way obtainable or for any of the other park attractions. As far as I know, I mean, that's, it's appropriate. Maybe the Imagineers, but that's their own business.
You know what that means? It's a whole new world of weed out there. For the Pro Cannabis Media Group and ProCannabisMedia.com, I'm Jimmy Young reporting, and now here are a few cannabis-friendly events in the New England area over the next few weeks. News Dabs is a weekly production of the Pro Cannabis Media Group. It is supported by Alternative Compassion Services in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. ACS is a leading provider of medicinal cannabis at 693 Elm Street in Bridgewater.